Hello and welcome to the STB Racing League Season 17 Round 13 Grand Prix. Tonight we head to Hungary at the Hungarian circuit for what is a very historic track on the Formula 1 Championship calendar. First debuted back in 1936, obviously wasn't a championship season, but a track that is definitely steeped with history, country as well, steeped with history in Formula 1, so we're excited to be here for what is a wet qualifying session. So far it is heavy rain here at the Hungarian. Drivers coming out on full wet tyres at the moment. So we'll see what the rest of the session will hold for us and following for the race as well. But I am glad to be joined by DJ Danny again in the commentary box alongside me. Missed last week's race due to it being his birthday, but he's back. And how are you feeling for tonight?
I'm feeling good. I mean, yeah, wet qualifying, maybe the wet race as well. Who knows? But yeah, it's going to be tricky conditions out there for them. So hopefully it's a exciting qualifying and maybe mix up the grid a bit as well.
Well, it could be a reverse conditions from what we saw yesterday. Obviously, with it being wet now in the qualifying session. So yeah, if it does rain in the race, obviously it's been a very wet weekend overall. Obviously we had the Turkish Grand Prix at the weekend as well, which was slippery to say the least. I think the drivers tonight will be feeling very similar to what they had on Sunday.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, I do wonder if any of the drivers maybe try the intermediates out towards the end of the session. Right now it does look like full wet conditions, but you never know. As F&T Dan Boss is starting his lap right now, so let's see what he can do.
So coming into this session, all of the drivers you should know by now, but there is one new name for tonight. It's FRA Brown. So keep an eye on him for tonight, whether he can get involved with the top runners. Yep, got your championship leader, F&T Kevin in the Ferrari, as usual. Picked up a couple of points in Tier 1 yesterday as a reserve, so I think it'll be a confidence boost for him if he even needed it at this point. He's currently 130 points clear at the top of the championship, so such as his dominance has been this season.
Yeah, it's been a very good season. He's even racing in Tier 1 most weekends now, or weeks now as well. So, you know, he's showing a very strong performance and showing why he's at the top. He did struggle yesterday, I must say, in the Tier 1 race. Maybe that's a sign of things to come in Tier 2, maybe. I don't know. Every driver has a bogey track, maybe, so this may be his. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does tonight.
Well, it's going to take a lot to keep him off the top step of the podium, as Dan Boss sets the first lap with 29.7. Kevin has won 6 of the last 8 races, just to get an idea of how dominant he really has been since the Dutch Grand Prix. He's really come into his own. So, yeah, I think at this rate, he could wrap the title up by, well, Monza or Singapore. So,
oh, it's Danger Man's spot. Be careful not to get yourself disqualified. He's
yeah, there's a Red Bull that spun off as well, and there's Williams just ahead of Siniflo on the track, and Siniflo's setting his lap. CJ Allen puts himself just behind Dan Boss, only a few thousandths between those two.
Oh. I'd expect drivers to fill up with a bit of fuel, do multiple laps on these tyres. I would expect these lap times to drop down a bit. Yeah, everyone seems to be pretty close on times. Mardy with 30.5, I'm sure you'd want to improve on that lap time. In the wet, it's just about having confidence in the rear as well as Siniflo get his 3 temps clear at the top there. The Renault driver. Oh, as he gets out of the way nicely for the Williams driver, Alfaro Brown. It'd be interesting to see how he does tonight.
We also saw a pretty strong showing, I'd say, from VCR Shark yesterday as a reserve as well. And didn't score points in the end. I don't think he finished the race, but he was up challenging for the middle of the points, really, P6 for most of the race. And he definitely had good pace in the wet weather conditions. Cass has nearly completely binned it through the end of Sector 2. I think, yeah, he's really got issues at the moment. I think his rears are just completely cooked as he's struggling to get through the final sector.
Yeah, he may have it might need to go into the pits and knock that. Yeah, he's got no rear grip.
Yeah, completely lost it.
Sharks.
And yeah, Shark's out. As we were just talking about how strong he was, he said, "Oh, that's it. He's just sliding all over the place."
Yeah, he is at Turkey at the moment.
Reminiscence of Turkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
VCR Shark is out of the session.
He's just put it into the wall. He must have lost it coming out the right-handers. Matt just keeps it within the bounds of the racetrack. On his 3rd flying lap. It's tough out there for the drivers. Rear grip is at a premium as we have our first driver into the 28s, FNT Dan Boss.
Oh, big slide, final corner through BTX as well. He comes across the line and he goes P7. We lost him a lot of time.
Oh, as there's a racing point of Bram Nilsson in. Has he got damage?
Red Bull as well. Davies spun off as well.
It's tricky conditions. Oh, is he going to get out? Oh! BTX is out.
Oh, BTX is out.
He's gone into the back of Bram Nielsen.
Oh no.
Oh, that was a block.
So BTX out of the session already. I didn't catch that on my end.
Basically, he just moved left as BTX went to go overtake him, and they just hit each other. Brown Nelson gets a 5 good penalty for that, which is, yeah. I think that is the the least of the punishments. That would have been an aeroplane crash if this wasn't if this was real. That would have been an aeroplane crash. But yeah, fortunately. Yeah, that was poor by Bram Nelson.
So we've already got 2 drivers out of the session and one with a 5-place grid drop. So no short of action so far in this qualifying session. Watch Timar Fale, I should say, as he comes through the middle sector now. Bit of a squirm on the exit, but pretty clean through the middle sector. So we'll see what he can do coming through the final sector now. And whether he can put himself anywhere near the top 5. He was looking very, very quick 2 weeks ago for the British Grand Prix.
Oh, he's fighting the car all the time. Short shifting to get maximum traction down at it. And it is a 1:29.4. Puts him P5. Decent lap that. The only person not to set a lap time is TSR Danger Man. So hopefully he'll be able to set a lap time on the board.
Larry goes P8, but is beaten straight away by CJ Allen just behind him. They get very close to each other on the track. They're going to look for a bit more space than that on their best runs. Kevin is on his out lap. I think most drivers are on that out lap at the moment.
Yeah,
Carter does put himself up to P9. So
yeah, I imagine a lot of drivers would probably put a new set of wets on, refuel. I'd imagine a lot would probably fuel up for 3 flying laps as Nivellari gets out of the way of the Red Bull driver of Crooken.
On board with SLR Owens, he's looking to improve on his P15 at the moment. Look pretty tidy through the first sector. We'll see he's 7 tenths up on his lap.
Not bad.
So yeah, he's still obviously, well, his best lap is 5 seconds off pole position at the moment, as he's really fighting the car. with a long right-hander.
A lot of these drivers do have very pointy cars. If I was them, I would be
expecting a dry race, possibly then.
Yeah, if I was them, I'd keep their setup on and maybe knock the front wing down, just give that rear stability. Especially with like,
and he's lost it, and he's in the wall as well.
He's very lucky not to lose a wheel there. He's got a clear track, so he can.
Obviously, lost a big chunk of his. Oh, and he's hit the other wall as well, trying to spin the car around. I think has he got a puncture from that as well? Looks like he possibly could have got a puncture from that spin.
He's making sure he gets out of the way of the racing point of Brown Nielsen.
Right. But yeah, he's going to have to box for any of the tyres.
Oh, there's Davies round.
Yeah, same place that he lost it before. Kevin's just ahead of him on track. We're watching him
his
on his
outlap
lap
as
now.
well. Oh, right in the curves there. Full attempt up. On for provisional pole as he locks up into the second to last corner. Very hard and quick this circle. Got to make sure you get a good exit for the final corner onto start finish straight. Hugs inside.
Very tentative on the throttle though. It's going to lose a little bit of time. Comes across the line and it is 28.6. It's good enough for provisional pole. Didn't improve in the final sector in the end, but managed to match his personal best. Danbos has invalidated his lap. I think he got caught up behind a couple of drivers. A lot of drivers coming on their outlaps now. Nevillari puts himself into P3. That's a strong effort from him. He was unsure that he was going to race tonight. As
CJ Allen puts himself into P3 now.
And Kata does the same. So times are tumbling. Very close at the top at the moment. And,
it's after you.
Matt has just started his lap as well, so we'll keep an eye on him. There's a big slide on the exit of turn 2 there. Another one on the exit of turn 3.
This is
still 3 tenths.
It's 3 tenths.
Oh,
and he goes wide.
He's
gone wide.
Yeah, he's invalidated his lap.
He's still got time though. There's as Danger Man goes out on the
he's got
on the intermediate.
And that's Nivellari in the wall after putting himself into P3. He's dropped to P5 now. And I think Kata had to avoid that. Davy coming through on a lap as well.
As we've got Danger Man out on intermediates.
There is a bit of a dry line forming, so I'm not surprised to see some drivers try it. As Kata jumps out of the way of Davy. Davy seems to be struggling quite a lot in these conditions at the moment. We'll see what he can do as he comes around final corner. As Kata comes into the pits, so I think he might be trying to put him a set of inters for one more run. And Davy across the line, 31 flat.
But it's just no improvement there. It'd be interesting to see how Danger Man does on those intermediate tyres. Taking a bit slow on the outlap, but obviously you want to preserve them temperatures and not make any mistakes. He's got nothing to lose really. He's P17. The worst he can do is stay P17, and probably going to start P16 with Brown Nielsen's grid drop. As we have a Maudi.
Jumps out the way of Timar or Fale. Danbos did improve on his lap, but only slightly.
Kevin's maybe going out on intermediates as Danger Man starts his lap. So
Danbos disconnected. And that's a shame for the Alfa Romeo driver, as he was looking pretty quick in this session, possibly challenging for pole. Timar or Fale is going to go for another lap match, just coming through the final sector. He is 5 tenths up at the moment. This could be on for provisional pole. He goes a little bit wide to the final corner. Want to give him a better exit onto the pit straight though. We'll see as he comes up to the line. Can he put himself on provisional pole? Yes, he can. First driver into the 0.5s. And he has put himself ahead of the championship leader. Now, will
this danger man is
Kevin make it up for
invalidated.
another lap?
He should have been out by now if.
Well, I think we've got a timing glitch as usual, as we have it pretty much every time. So that could
Wouldn't
be.
surprise me.
And Damos is back in the session. I don't think he's going to get another lap in, as we see FRA Brown really struggling with the rear end. He's gone wide at chicane as well, and that's his lap done. We'll watch Maudi now, and he runs wide at the corner and he's in the wall, and he's lucky to stay in the session after that. But I think that's his qualifying done.
Oh, as he's.
And Sinifo's out of the session, and I think Maudi's going to pull up and retire. Or he's going to box this lap either way. Owen's out of the session as well. He's retired in the pit lane. I think Matt was on another lap, but he had a bit of traffic with Maudi off the road and FRA Brown as well.
Kevin's out on the intermediates.
Matt comes up to the line now. Can he improve his lap? He does slightly. 13,000.
Every bit of time counts.
Well, there's a big slide through turn 1, so I think that's going to be his lap over. Yeah, he's dropped his ERS down. He may have time for one more. Damos is out of the session. So the only two drivers out on intermediates are FNT Kevin and FXBR Davi and TSR Dangerman as well.
Yeah, Dangerman's keeping it on the track, but a 105.8. I don't know if that's a good time or not for the middle sector.
He's just ahead of Kevin on the track. He's not in hot lap, interestingly enough, doesn't he?
No, I think he's
backed off. So yeah,
this
time's
is probably
up
going to be
but there's no checker flag.
He goes to P16.
He does. We'll watch Kevin now though, as he is setting his laps, just about to start it. He's got about a 10th to make up to put himself on pole position. So what can he do in this one flying run that he's got? The checker flag has now dropped for the drivers. They just a few coming out and setting their final runs. Kevin struggling with the front end going through turn 2. FRA Brown has put himself into P6. Nuvolari's dropped down to P7.
2 temps down in the first sector.
Yeah, the Intus is just not quite working as well as he would have hoped. But the track could be drying up as he gets further and further into the lap. Matt is out of the session. Didn't get another run in the end. He's hoping that 28.5 is good enough for pole position.
A problem for Kevin is Dangerman is right up the road and is on a lap. He's just...
Yeah,
he's 2 temps up on his lap.
A little bit. As he loses a lot of curb on the inside and doesn't go to the curb on the outside.
He's 1 temp down.
He's got a lot of time to make up for his final sector if he wants to be on pole position. Most of the drivers behind him, in fact all of the drivers behind him have set laps, just Kevin and Dangerman, the last two. And it looks as if Kevin's not going to have enough to put himself on pole position. Unless
he has a stellar
exit on this final corner, and out he comes. It's not going to be good enough. It was a 0.6 in the end. He did improve, but it is Matti Banta on pole position for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So here is your grid. It is, as we said, Matti Banta on pole position, and championship leader FNT Kevin just behind him with Dan Boss not far behind either. TMR Kata put himself in P4 as well, just missed out on P3. CJ Allen up into P5. FRA Brown in P6. Bram Nilsson will start P7, but with his grid drop, he will be P12. Nuvolari will be P7 on the grid. VCRL Sharp will be P8. Crooken will be P9, Tiamat off Ale P10, and the rest of the drivers will be outside of the top 10. So we've got Sunshine at the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix. So it is a reverse weather from the race we saw yesterday.
Maybe they'll have rain at the end. You never know.
Well, we have seen it a few times this season. It's definitely not off the cards. But we'll have to see if there is any later on. But at the moment, it is looking like a dry race.
Yeah, and this is, I think, an easy medium to hard strategy. I imagine a lot of the drivers will be putting the hard tyres on, maybe if they're outside the
well, they all can
top.
if they want to. But I think most will go mediums to start.
Yeah.
Obviously, the soft to hard is a doable strategy, but tyre temps are a bit of a struggle, especially through the middle sector. So I assume pretty much all of the drivers will go mediums or hards. The softs aren't really the race tyre that you want to be on.
No, I think it's one of those tyres that you just use if you need to, not because you want to.
I think the only time we're going to be seeing it is possibly for a flying mat attempt at the end. But we will see now what tyre the drivers are on. Yep, no one is on the soft tyre. I think Matt is having some connection issues in this session. But yeah, top 7 all on medium tyres. BCRL Shark and Crooken and Brown Nilsson and Dangerman as well. They've all opted for a hard compound tyre, and the rest are on the mediums. So,
I think going on the hards is probably a good. It's something different, isn't it? I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, the hard tyre is not a bad tyre as long as you can get heat into that tyre, which around here is pretty easy. It allows you to go further into the race. I guess the only thing is you're susceptible to an early safety car, but at the end of the day, the safety car could come out after all the medium runners are boxed. So it's one of those where it's a good. It's not an assist strategy, and it's something that I think it's worth doing if you're outside the top 5. It's worth doing, and it can get you up the grid.
Surprising to see SLR Owens so far down on the grid as well, starting in dead last in P17. He's going to be looking to make some ground up at the start if he can.
Yeah, he was definitely struggling in that qualifying session, as was a few really. Davi, Maudi kind of struggled a bit. I expected a bit better from him, if I'm honest. As he taps the back of FRA BTX, yep, and they've both been disqualified. So, yeah, but it's one of those where, yeah, top 10 are going to have definitely a big challenge there to get through around this track, as the overtaking is not the best.
Well, drivers have lined up on the grid as SLR Owen takes his final grid slot. We do have lights on ahead of the drivers, but it is a glitch on our end, so we will wait for the actual lights to come on for the drivers as they are on now. And it is lights out and away we go for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It looks like a great start from Dan Boss. Matt's having some connection issues, so it looks as if Kevin's going to be up the inside into turn 1. Can he get the move done on the Mercedes driver? Round the outside goes Matt. We've got a Williams off on the left. It's FRA Brown who's had an awful start in the braking zone. Kat has dropped a couple places, one place to CJ Allen. Can he get the place back round the outside? The AlphaTauri driver gives him a squeeze. Can the Racing Point go around the outside? He can't. What's going down on further down the grid? They all look to come through turn 2 cleanly. Maudi and Brown Nelson having a fight as well. Cineflow battling as well with BTX. Dangerman's had a bit of a slow start. He's dropped behind Davi, who's also been battling with him throughout the
SLR Owens had a good start from last on the grid.
He has, and Nivellari and Off-Alley going side by side through the chicane. Off-Alley gets forced wide, and Cineflow looking to make the move at the inside. Couldn't get it done in the end. And Dangerman and F. Ray Brown are also having a battle towards the back of the field, but Matt keeps his position from the start.
Yeah, he's looking to build that gap.
And Dangerman's out.
It's
He's in the wall. And he's lost it. And we have a safety car on the first lap of the Grand Prix.
Will anyone box? I wonder. As Sharks has boxed. Has he got damage maybe?
He's got damage. Shark, BTX is also in. See if they've got any damage. Nivellari's disconnected from the session.
Is this going to be front wing change for the Williams boys? It looks like it is.
AlphaTauri on the set hards. No front wing change. So BTX switching up his strategy already. Those hards should go to the end. So
yeah. If I was Sharks, I'd box and if I was Sharks, I'd maybe come back into the pits and put them hard tyres back on.
Well, yeah, it's definitely interesting why he's gone for the mediums. I mean, if you do the soft to hard strategy, if you start on the softs, you can take the softs about 6 laps and take the hards for the rest of the 30. But they can do more. So, yeah, I think BTX would be good to get to the end, especially with the safety car period. Obviously, it's going to last a bit, at least a couple of laps. Have removed that McLaren from the barrier, but we'll be out at least until the end of next lap.
I would have thought probably lap 3, lap.
It will probably be the
four.
end of next lap, as we are just waiting for Maudi to catch up to the grid now. He also boxed from the start. It looks as if all of the drivers got away through the start pretty cleanly. There was a couple of drivers off the road. FRA Brown completely missed his braking point, I think. He was off on the left-hand side of turn 1. But he managed to avoid contact. Yeah, I'm not sure if you got the same on your end, but Matt is having some real connection issues.
Yes, he does jump about a bit for me. At first I thought Kevin was right alongside, but
although he has settled down now as I say that.
Yeah, it might be just one of those start, how this
he had it
game
in
is
qualifying
sometimes.
as well, so I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't affect the racing. He's got Bram Nilsson span under the safety car, Danny. Wait, no, he hasn't. He's back up again. He was sideways on my screen, and all the drivers were avoiding him, and he's just teleported back to P12. So, a couple of connection issues in this session so far, which isn't great. Nivellari is back in the session, which is good for him. If he can take control before the restart.
Hopefully, it doesn't cause a glitch like yesterday.
It looks alright at the moment, but yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that, because it is a big issue. Yeah, the safety car should be in this lap. We will wait from confirmation from race control.
I'd expect to find out right about now.
Yep, safety car in this lap. And Nivellari still hasn't taken control of his car. Davi's disconnected as well, which is not good for his race either. But here we go then. Matt controls the pace now. Safety car is pretty much clear. He can go whenever he wants at this point. Nivellari has taken control of his car, so he's just got back in time. And Matt is gone already. Around the final corner, he's gone pretty early.
Dan Boss has been caught napping.
He is. He's a long way back from his compatriot, and that's going to put him under pressure from CJ Allen from the restart. Nivellari's lost a couple of positions as well before they've even got to the final corner, and they're 3 wide pretty much going into turn 1 with Davi's AI. Down the inside goes Bram Nilsson. He's to a side-by-side through turn 1. Nivellari gets the better line around the outside, and he keeps P10. And there's a big battle going on down the back with Davi's car as well. As you've got Shark and BTX side by side. BTX is looking to make some positions up, and they're going to be side by side now through turn 3. And Davi's Ghost is in the way as well, and BTX holds it around the outside, muscles his way, and he's got the position done on the Williams.
Good move. I thought that was going to be a airplane crash then. As Maudi,
he's coming back at him.
Oh, shot!
Oh, down the outside, in the inside, and they've made contact. BTX is off at the chicane. Sharks managed to keep the car under control. Must have got away with damage as well. There was only slight contact between the two. And the field is really spreading out in front. As Matt bolts away from the restart.
Davi's back in the session now.
Oh, Navallari's looking up the inside of Owen. They're side by side, coming through the penultimate corner. Owen's really struggling on those tyres at the moment. And this is going to put FRA Brown as well in this battle, but Navallari gets a good exit. He's going to use some of his ERS now in the slipstream. Can he get close enough into turn 1? SLR Owen looks like he's using quite low downforce. Is he going to be late on the brakes to get the move done? He's not. You're going to have to survive that order for a few more corners at least.
Oh, it's a good exit though.
Yeah, big slide on the exit. Can Navallari send his way up the inside, all around the outside? Up the inside he goes! Great move from the Alfa Romeo. Can he make it stick on the Ferrari driver? That is a brilliant move from the Italian. And he's up into P9.
A couple of drivers have already got penalties. And there's a Brown hit the curb. I thought he's got it, but he's held that very well. As he only loses one position to Brad Nelson. But yeah, a couple of drivers have already got penalties quite early on for the race, considering there's 3 warnings normally. But yeah, penalties made side things.
And Brown, I don't know how he's held that. He was completely sideways at about 160 miles an hour, and he's managed to hold the car. So
his tyres must be crying, screaming for a bit cooler temperatures, because they've been sideways a couple of times. As Sharks is now on the back of his teammate. A lot of ERS used by Sharks.
Yeah, things pushing early on, obviously on those fresh mediums. Although the guys who started on the mediums, they're not going to have a lot more wear than him, as he only boxed on lap 2. And the field is very spread already. Crooken on the hards is a lot slower, obviously, than Kata. And that is causing a bit of a train. Ofale, sorry. Always get his name wrong. And we've got another safety car. And Shark is out. And that's another safety car in this race. That's 2 in 6 laps, and we haven't seen one in Tier 1 for about 3 races, so...
We're just leaving Tier.
Well, it would have been good for me to have one yesterday, but not to be for my luck.
Would you box?
I think most drivers will box, yes.
Oh, Matt does not.
They're staying out. They're all staying out. I think CJ Allen was going to box, and he saw the 3 ahead weren't coming in, so he backed out. Ofale and Cineflow boxed.
Kata's boxed.
There's only a few of them in the pits. It's only those 3 and FRA Brown as well. And they are all obviously going to go for a set of hard tyres to the end. And Cineflow gets held in the pits, and he's going to drop behind FRA Brown. He got held as the Williams came down the pit lane.
This is good news for BTX and Maudi, who obviously boxed after that first safety car.
Yeah, it is.
Gain a few more positions.
And obviously they can look after the tyres as well under this safety car. BTX, realistically, he needs to get past Brown Nelson on the restart and try and put some pressure on the medium runners once their tyres start to drop off. But the mediums can go quite a long distance without dropping off. So
probably, what, 15 laps?
Probably more. 15 would be with good pace, and another 5 probably with a little bit less as the degradation starts to come in. I'm not really sure why we had a safety car come out. I mean, as I said, in Tier 1 the safety car doesn't even come out when someone's buried in the wall on the racing line. But it seems to come out in Tier 2 if there's someone spanned on the racing line, so it's a bit strange, but it definitely increases the entertainment aspect for us watching as well. Just get to see
Yeah, I think.
all drivers bunched up again.
Yeah, I think Shark's proper put into the wall. I mean, as
Oh.
Mathematic Banter gets a 5-second time penalty.
And Kevin doesn't get one, and Matt's the driver ahead. How strange.
Yeah.
By the looks
That'll
of it, that'll
definitely
probably
be
be taken
investigated.
off, so it would definitely be an if penalty that we'll have to look at after the race. Hopefully it doesn't affect the result, but I have a feeling that it's most likely going to.
The unfortunate thing is if these two have to box, Matt's got to serve that penalty.
Yeah, and they do. They do have to box, so it may be an instance that Matt gets 5 seconds taken off his race time.
Whether that'll be enough, who knows.
And it will be the same time overall, so I guess that'll be more frustrating, obviously, sitting in the pit lane, stationary for 5 seconds. Overall, it's going to be the same amount of time that he loses. So, safety car should be in this lap again for the second restart. Yep, safety car is in this lap. So another couple of laps under the safety car, but we are ready to go racing again here in Hungary. It's been a lively start from Tier 2 drivers. Now, who's going to get the best restart on this occasion? I think Matt's still having connection issues, which may have been the cause of the collision between Kevin and Matt. Matt's gone a little bit later this time, but he has finally gone through the final corner. Kevin's a lot closer on this occasion, and Danboss as well has kept himself close, but Krucken has dropped off quite a lot, and he could be under pressure from Nuvolari, as he is also on the harder compound. And Kata's looking for a move on Davi here, down into turn 1, up the inside he goes. And Davi's going to try and hold it around the outside, but hasn't quite got the grip. And Kata makes his way into P11. And behind them, off alley's looking for a move on Cineflow as well. Gets the door slammed shut in his face. Cineflow is not letting him past. This is on a fresh set of hards. He needs to keep these positions. And he's gone off wide. Had a bit of a moment, and it's really compromised Cineflow. And here he comes up the inside, and we've got a spinner as well. Brown at the back, but here comes Cineflow up the inside of the chicane. He gets a move done on Davi, and now they've made contact, and they're round, and that's damage for Davi, and Cineflow is in the wall.
That was poor driving, I must say. I mean, Cineflow kind of had the move done, and Davi just stuck his nose in there as Offel is going past Davi now.
Through the wing damage, he's got nothing to fight him. And Maudi's looking really racy on the back of BTX here. And a big train is at the head, SLR Owen. And will Maudi possibly go for a move down into turn 1? He's a little bit too far back on this occasion. But he's going to follow him for the next few corners at least. See if he can get close enough to make a move.
Kevin is closing in on the back of Matt. As Kevin goes a little bit wide. It's hard to follow the car in front round here. As that gap is beginning to form behind
a flag, and that's Maudi. Maudi's round. He span it on the curb. And I think he's avoided damage as... Brown stuck it up the inside. That is audacious to say the least. and he's lost a place to Cineflow as a result, and Cineflow gives him the shove completely off the track.
I don't think Cineflow has time for many people at the moment.
I wouldn't blame him. Yeah, I don't know why Brown stuck his nose on the inside there. It was pretty much sending his way into an incident, into a door that was completely shutting. SLR Owen has boxed already, so whether he picked up some damage or not. Oh, he's retired. He's out. Owen is out of the session. I'm not sure what happened with him. He may have had a bit of damage or some other issue.
As the top four all within DRS of each other.
Oh, and we got spin. CJ Allen's in the wall, and we've got a virtual safety car. CJ Allen's out of the Grand Prix. He got in very hot and span it on the exit curb. And that is his race done with.
Kevin is now in the lead of this race.
He is?
Oh.
What?
Oh.
No, Matt is just got some connection issues still.
I would do the virtual safety car start.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be green flag any second now. They have cleared the AlphaTauri off the racing line. And Nivala's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC, but we are green flag yet again at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and I think Matt is under pressure from Kevin here, who's really close on this occasion. He's also got DRS as he closes going into turn 1. And he is looking to possibly get his way up into P1. But yeah, Matt is pretty much the biggest contender for Kevin's Drivers' Championship, although he's a long way back in this championship season so far. He is the closest one to him. So this is sort of a must-win for Matt if he even wants to keep the championship alive.
Matt goes a little wide there.
And Kevin's looking really fast in this stage of the race. He's completely dropping Damos behind. Damos is struggling to keep him DRS. And obviously crooking on those hard tyres is dropping off as well.
Personal best middle sector by Kevin.
Yeah, he's looking close. He can keep his keep this gap into the final corner. He's dropped off a little bit, but he still looks to be close enough to make a move if he can get a good exit, and he has, and he is in overtake, so he looks like he's going for it on this occasion, Danny. And he's got a great slipstream down the pit straight. Will Matt go defensive into turn 1? He will. Kevin's going to have to go the long way round at turn 1. Brakes early. Matt's gone deep. Can Kevin get the switchback move done? He's going to have to go the long way around the outside yet again. Can he get it done into turn 2? These two side by side. And Matt's on the inside now. He squeezes him wide, holds the inside line, and he keeps the championship lead behind. That's great defending from the Mercedes driver. But Kevin is...
And this is bringing Dan Boss back into it. All the time these two are scrapping, it brings Dan Boss is now within DRS. So it's a three-way fight for the lead, as Kevin is right on the back of Matt now. Matt will definitely be feeling the pressure. Similar amounts of DRS from all three drivers. Obviously Matt probably using a bit more, not having the benefit of DRS. As Maudi gets a 3-second time penalty.
Kevin, the only driver in the top 5 not to pick up a penalty so far.
Matt's is obviously a 5-second penalty for being
here
hit
comes Kevin. Here comes Kevin again. Matt's not going defensive this time as Kevin sends it up the inside. Will Matt try and hold it around the outside? He will. He breaks the layers, and they're going to make a bit of contact into turn 1.
Oh, Dan Boss
has nearly completely spun Kevin around, and Dan Boss is now going to put Kevin under pressure. Doesn't get the move done into turn 2 though. I would say it's pretty smart driving from Matt. Forced Kevin pretty much to completely lift off. Did leave him enough space, but with the nature of the corner, Kevin obviously was drifting a bit wider, and they did make a bit of contact.
Maybe Matt's plan is to back him into Dan Boss, as Dan Boss is right in this fight now, as the drivers are pushing every ounce of the track limits it.
Well, Matt definitely struggled more in the dry conditions in the race yesterday, so it's definitely, it's definitely that he's dropped off a lot in comparisons to the wet, but still showing good pace at the moment, leading this race.
Someone I am impressed with is Crooken, 13 laps, only 3.5 seconds off the lead on hard tyres.
Yeah, and he should be able to go to the end as well. And he's not being caught by the two guys behind, who are also on fresher hard tyres. So Kevin's looking to make his way back onto the back of Matt, possibly go for a move again into turn 1 on the next lap. He looks a lot quicker through this middle sector, Kevin, and that's what sets him up really for an overtake down the straight.
Yeah, I guess the problem is that sector 2 is not really an overtaking opportunity. Oh, as Matt goes wide.
Yeah, he didn't seem to lose much time though. We see Crooken just in the background of the shot there, still managing to keep a decent gap to Dan Boss. If these guys start to fight quite heavily, and obviously it's going to put him more in this battle. And Kevin's got a great exit yet again, and he's not in his using his overtake button, so he's not interested in trying to go for a move just at this moment.
I think he knows he's got him in the pits.
Well, I think it would be risky for him to rely on that, because obviously he's penalties are they're never 100% onto the final result, so for him it would definitely be worth trying to get the move on Matt if he thinks he is quick enough and that he can push on quicker lap times in that clean air.
I would expect a lot of them to be in this lap.
Yeah, it makes sense. Obviously the hards going a long distance, they don't really wear down too much.
Oh, I'm on board with Matt on the rear camera, and Kevin was sliding through that last couple of corners.
Yeah, he uses a lot of curb, as we've got someone around. That's Nivellari, and he's managed to keep going. Nobody boxes. Matt's really slow on the entry there. It was almost as if he wanted to come into the pits and backed out last minute, and that's going to put Kevin on the attack and Matt on the defensive going into turn 1. And again, he doesn't defend the inside line, but Kevin throws his way around the outside. Didn't want to go up the inside. He's now going to have to switch back into turn 1. Didn't want to get the move up the inside there, Kevin, but he's going to have to go the long way around now. Round turn 2 yet again. Can he get the move this time? He breaks the layers, but Matt is later, and they've made a bit of contact. And the two of them side by side for the lead of this race. They're still going through turn 3, and Kevin has to back out. Otherwise, it was going to be a monumental crash between those two. And Matt holds the position again.
Dan Boss wasn't close enough to make up for obviously the mistakes that these two are making going side by side. He could have maybe snatched a place there, but obviously just a little bit too far back. But he is keeping up with these guys. I think I won't be surprised if they're in this lap, because these tyres have gone a long way. I mean, it's basically half race distance now. Let's see what they do this lap.
What's interesting for me is that Kevin didn't put it up the inside, even though the position was there. And Matt is into the pits, and the two behind him have stayed out, so they're going for the overcut. Matt wants to cover off any chance of an undercut from the two behind. The undercut is usually quite powerful around this track, as long as you can keep your tyres in the right window. But is Matt gonna... Oh, he's going to have a 5-second penalty as well, which of course is going to put him behind these guys. But if he comes out in clean air, which he should do, he can push on and try and make up for some of that gap. And he's going to come out with Nivolari pretty much, a little bit behind him. Which isn't ideal, but he should be able to make his way past him pretty quickly. Got a bit of a timing glitch as well. Crooken's delta is not updating, but he is about 3-4 seconds behind Danboss. Saying that Danboss is a lap down on Kevin supposedly, so well, hopefully when they cross the line it will be updated. And we'll see for the front guys, will they put themselves into the pits? They will. So Matt's not even going to get a chance really to try and gain some of that advantage on the undercut. So these guys should come out clear of Matt quite comfortably.
As Danboss makes a good time upon Kevin in the braking zone there for the pits.
Yep, clean stop for the Ferrari. And the Alfa Romeo gets held by the Ferrari slightly. Crooken takes the lead of the Grand Prix. And these two on the pit exit now. Where is Matt? He's a long way back.
Yeah, I think he's... Yeah, he's about 5 seconds off Danboss now. So he's got to get past Nivolari and catch him up. But Kevin and Nat will have other cars to contest with, like STB Maudi and Cineflow, who can go to the end.
It's a shame as well, because looking at the deltas, they would have been pretty much side by side on the exit, so it would have been great to see those two fighting coming out the pits. But yeah, Matt just needs to try and get himself within 5 seconds at least, so that he is in that window if the stewards decide to send it his way. STB Maudi is ahead of these guys on the track, still on those hard tyres, trying to go to the end, so he's not going to be yielding to Kevin.
Yeah, it's whether Maudi will think it's his best interest to fight it.
Yellow flag, that's Dabby round again in sector 2. I think Kevin's just going to have so much more pace that Maudi's not even going to be able to fight it. So he comes out the final corner now. Maudi is going to go defensive. And he's got good straight line speed, Maudi, so Kevin's going to have to fight this one round the outside. Maudi holding the inside line. And Kevin gets the long way around. He's got DRS, but Maudi has now got a car length ahead of Kevin. Is Kevin going to send up the inside of Maudi? He's not. He can't stick his nose in. And Maudi is holding these two up now. And this is going to bring Matt further and further into this play.
Speaking of Matt, he's on the back of Nivolari.
Onto turn 4. Is Kevin going to make a move into turn 4? No, he backs out a bit last minute. He's desperate to get past the Renault.
Side by side. Oh my god, that was...
Oh! And there's damage.
Nivolari was a bit aggressive there, as David is retired in the pit lane.
Yeah, Matt just drove into the back of him on my screen.
Yeah, he did.
So possibly connection, possibly just getting a bit hot under the helmet. Of getting held up by Nivolari.
Tell you one thing.
Holding up Kevin.
Kevin is used up.
Where's Danboss gone? Oh no, sorry, he's behind. That's Nivolari. That's a long way back. Yeah, he's going for it again. He's using a lot of ERS to try and get past Maudi. Maudi's got great straight line speed. And he's got the slipstream again. Is he going to go for a move up the inside of turn 1? Yes, this time he does, but he backs out last minute again.
Maudi's out braking him.
And Kevin's really struggling to get past Maudi.
Maudi's used all of his ERS.
So's Kevin.
To keep... Yeah, Danboss is just sitting there pretty at 60%.
Yeah.
Just watching, saying, I'm happy to watch.
Well, this really helps.
His team, Cineflow.
Yeah, and all of the guys ahead. I mean,
yeah.
There's only 14 laps left. And, what, the leader's 13 seconds up the road.
Yeah.
That's about a second a lap he's got to catch. Although the drivers do have penalties, which could come into play.
Yeah. the longer Maudi can hold up for his teammate.
Well, he needs to save some ERS so that he can force him down the straight. He's got a little bit, but Kevin's got about 20% more than him at the moment, which obviously is going to benefit him quite a lot. As long as he can get a good exit off this final corner, he should be all right. But Kevin's a lot closer. Yeah, Kevin's a lot closer on this occasion. He needs to get past the Renault driver. Maudi goes very defensive again. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers going into turn 1? Kevin's got the move done, and Maudi cannot send out the inside on this occasion. And Kevin has finally made his way past. So now what can Kevin do? Dambos is right on the back of Maudi. Is Maudi going to hold up Dambos as well? Dambos has used a bit more of his ERS since we last checked.
Yeah, I think maybe he saw that Maudi's getting past and thinks, I need to get past Maudi, otherwise I'm going to lose the back of Kevin.
Well, it would be good for him if he can keep within the DRS range, but at the moment, even if he gets past Maudi, he's out of the DRS range, and Matt is out at turn 1.
Now, does this bring a safety car out?
Well, you would have thought so, but it doesn't look as if there is. So, and it's yeah, it was not the race that Matt would have wanted. Started on pole, kept the drivers behind.
Oh, it's BTX and Kata battling for the lead.
And yeah, they're side by side, and Kata's completely shoved BTX off the road. Very rude from the Italian driver. But he gets his way up into P1. And Dambos has made his way past Maudi as well into turn 1. They look as if they're side by side. And Crooken has made his way past Nivolari as well. Yep, Dambos is past Maudi, but crucially 1.6 seconds behind Kevin.
Oh, it's Nivolari and Bram Nielsen are battling.
Yeah, Bram Nielsen's got the place. So, the battle for the lead now.
Free car lead for the...
Kevin is around 12 seconds off of Kata, I believe. Let's have a look.
And the thing is, he's not catching his inner flow. That gap's been about 3.7, 3.8 for the last couple of laps. I don't know if
Kata's gone wide, and that's going to bring BTX back into this fight. If these guys start battling, this is going to bring Kevin into the fight, though. And BTX looks close enough on this occasion.
Look at the McLaren's ERS use.
Oh, he's got loads. So yeah, off Ale is in this battle yet again. He was there or thereabouts in Britain. Didn't quite get it in the end. BTX couldn't make the move down the straight. Kata went very defensive.
Oh, he's done very deep on the brakes there.
He has, and that's going to give off Ale the opportunity now. He's a little bit too far back on this occasion, but he's going to be getting closer and closer every lap. Obviously with all that ERS. And,
as we got a yellow flag. That is...
And Seneflo's picked up another penalty. That's not good for his race. And he's made a mistake as well. He's lost a lot of time to Kevin. I think he was off at turn 3 on the exit.
Yeah, the gap has gone down by about a second.
Waterfire's off the road, and that's going to be a penalty for him as well. Well, let's have a look at the penalties, Danny. So it's 6 seconds for BTX and Ofale, and Kata only 3. So Kata looking pretty at the moment.
As BTX is to compound the issue, he's low on fuel.
He is.
So that Honda power unit obviously using a bit more fuel with the rich modes that he's probably had to use to try and stay ahead. As Ofal has got almost a full battery. I'm surprised he's not pushing it more, considering he needs to get the gap to.
BTX picked up another penalty, and that's really
seconds.
not good for him now. As Kevin is pretty much within his window to overtake him already. So I think BTX is going to struggle to even sit on the podium at this stage. And he is dropping off the back of Kata a little bit as well. Off Alley's struggling to keep with BTX as well, though. So is Kata now trying to push, get these guys out of his DRS range? Interesting enough, Kata's only stood on the podium twice this season. And yeah, still hasn't won a race in STB, so he's in a good position. Get his first victory.
If he can keep them behind in this first two straights, he's got a very good chance. I'm surprised that Offal isn't pushing as much. I would have expected.
He's past Maudi and they're side by side in turn 1. And Maudi's gone off, gone very wide, and he's lost place to Brown Nilsson as well. He's going on fresh mediums. And here comes Brown Nilsson at the inside, and that was inevitable. And they make contact. Crooken gets away with it. Nivellari's also out of the session. He span it, and that could be a safety car. Doesn't look like it is going to be a safety car, but Brown Nilsson's pretty much thrown his race away as well, and that is right on the racing line. And no safety car. And they've cleared the car apparently already, so yep, no risk of safety car, but that's put off Alley right on the back of BTX.
A bit of fumbling goes off, and
it's
a safety car, massive crash.
Red flag.
Massive crash? Nah.
Off Alley's using his ERS now, but BTX obviously with the DRS is just a little bit too close, sorry, a little bit too fast on the straights. But he's got 100% battery, Danny. He's not using any of it.
He's even short shifting, as Kevin is nearly on the back of Cineflow.
He is, but he's going to have to get a bit more of a move on than that. He's got a lot of time to make up for 100 of the penalties again.
Maudi's pitted for the mediums, maybe going for the fastest lap there.
So the more Cineflow holds up Kevin, the better it is for Kata. But the looks of it, off Alley, unless Kevin picks up a penalty, off Alley's going to struggle to keep ahead of him with the 6 seconds that he's got. But if Kata can keep it clean, then he's in a good place.
So the gap from Offal to Kevin is about 7.5 seconds. So he's right on the cusp there, about 1.5 seconds in it. As Offal gets a snap of oversteer, then will he be using his DRS? Yes, he is. He's into overtake mode. Yeah,
and he's getting closer, he's getting closer. Is he going to go for a move into turn 1? He's a little bit too far back on this occasion. But I think he's realised that he really needs to get a move on. He's pushing BTX through turn 1, but it's giving him a worse exit. And his opportunity to get move into turn 2.
Cineflow and Kevin are side by side.
Yeah, and around the outside.
Gets a
he managed to hold the move, but here comes Kevin up the inside. They're going to be side by side through turn 2. Can Cineflow hold it around the outside? There's a lot of grip on that line as they come through now. And Kevin's finally got the move on Cineflow. And he forced him wide onto the marbles, couldn't get the move back on the Ferrari driver. And Kevin is now in free air to go and chase for this victory. Hasn't had it all of his way this race. But he's still in with a chance. He's still in the hunt for this race.
As Offal is right on the back of BTX now. I think he'd be going for it. I reckon there's going to be a pack dump down this straight. I won't be surprised.
He needs a good exit. He needs to be right in the slipstream of BTX, and he's a little bit further back than he would have wanted to be. And yeah, he's not using much
not going for it.
But BTX is harvesting, so he is completely out of ERS. Trying to close up on Kata, which he has done. 4 tenths the gap going into turn 1. So he's still looking to get past Kata, even though he probably knows about the penalty situation between the two of them. And Kata as well, struggling on ERS management as he has no DRS to pull him along.
as BTX is weaving a bit there, saying, "Get out of the way."
Oh, and he's gone on the grass on the exit as well. And Ofale is right on the rear end of him, but obviously not particularly where you want to be through this middle sector.
No, as the gap from Offal to Kevin is about 6 seconds.
Yeah, so he's pretty much already at his limit of where he needs to be to stay ahead of him.
Getting past BTX would help that.
The thing is, I don't think it would, because he's then got the pressure from behind, and obviously Kata's still in front, but he's a lot closer on this occasion, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got loads of ERS, and he's surely going to get the move on BTX. BTX goes slightly defensive, and they're going to be side by side into turn one. BTX breaks the latest. He's going to force him the long way around. The McLaren driver holds it around the outside. He's got the grip, and he's got the traction. He can get the move done on the AlphaTauri, but can BTX send it back around the outside? He's going to try, and they're side by side through turn two. And BTX all the way around the outside. They make contact, and he's off. And the McLaren's lost his front wing. And that's surely game over for the Italian. And now BTX has comfortable air behind him, and he's right on the back of Kata. What did you make of that incident?
I don't know if that was him losing the car or contact. I couldn't tell from my screen as he's
off. Yeah. Oh, what a shame. He was looking really strong and at least on for a podium there. There definitely will be a stewards inquiry at least. It looks it looks as a mix of wheel spin and a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. F-Ray Brown is off at turn one. Which is what the yellow flags are out for. So, 4 laps to go. And the gap is 5.3. It's 6 seconds to the race lead. Danny, can he do it?
Oh, as
that Maudi off.
As Maudi, he's going slow.
He had a bit of a half spin. Ofale has gone on a set of softs, so he should be able to pick up P8 and the fastest lap as a minimum, but obviously not where he wanted to be. As BTX goes wide at the chicane, I think that's another warning for him. He could be on for another penalty.
Kevin is
yeah, Kevin is wringing the neck out of that Ferrari, and he's going for this race win. This is what we want to see. We want to see the championship leader absolutely driving to the limit and being pushed to the limit.
Dan Boss is now over in Cineflow's DRS.
Yeah, he's had a quiet race since obviously Kevin got past Maudi quite quickly. He's sort of just followed him about 2 seconds behind. But still up for a decent result. I don't think he's going to get any higher than P4. He could stand on the podium with the penalties.
Cineflow's lost it.
Yeah, and Dan Boss has been pretty much gifted the place by Cineflow. He makes his way up into P4, and he's just outside the window he needs to be to stand on the podium, Danny. So he's going to need to push in these late stages.
Yeah, the thing is, Dan Boss and Kevin are going to be on obviously younger tyres.
This is going to be so close, Danny.
Yeah.
He needs 2 seconds, Kevin. 2 seconds in 4 laps. Can Kata keep the pace up and get his first victory in STB?
The thing is, one mistake and it could be over for Kevin.
It's the same for Kata though. But he is dropping BTX at the moment. BTX struggling to even get in the DRS range. He will have it on this occasion. The gap is 1.1 coming through the final corner.
I think BTX's tyres are gone.
Yeah.
30 laps.
And here comes Kevin.
He's not cashing as quick as I thought he would have. He caught up a couple of...
Got good pace.
Yeah. Kevin caught up a couple of seconds very quickly, and it's been around between 4 and 5 seconds for that.
He must have dumped a lot of his ERS, as he's on 30% now. He probably used a lot to save up after he got past Maudi, and then had a couple of laps where he could just push and give it everything. But the pace that he's on at the moment, I don't think it's going to be good enough for him to win this race. It's going to be so close at the end, though.
Yeah, it's true. And the thing is, we don't know. Obviously, we haven't been watching the leaders all race. We don't know whether any of them penalty warnings were given because of reasons that they think that maybe they need to be removed.
Timo off Ale, so he's looking to grab an extra point for that fastest lap as well. And BTX is out of the DRS range, and I think Kata's trying to leave him for dead now. His hard tyres are 5 laps older than the racing points, so he's really struggling now. And Downboss is quite comfortably in the window that he needs to, but don't think he'll be troubled by Cineflow unless he gets another penalty. I know we saw Kevin in the background there, big slide.
Kevin needs to make up 9 tenths.
Oh, this is going to be so close, Danny. You saw him in the background. He is absolutely driving that car to the limit, and BTX has made another mistake. He's putting him closer to the clutches of Kevin, but Kevin doesn't need that. Kevin needs the clean air to push into on this final lap, try and get the gap that he needs, Timo Kata, to take this victory.
Gap's currently 3.7.
7 tenths.
As Cineflow gets a 3-second time penalty, that doesn't matter. So all ERS down the straight.
Oh,
21.
This is it for Kevin. Can Kata hold on? Can he take his first victory? It would be brilliant to see the Italian driver win here in Hungary.
And Kevin will know that as FRA Brown comes out ahead of BTX, obviously ghosting is on.
Anyway. But we're looking at the gaps to the leader, so we can watch the gap from Kevin to Kata. This is going right down to the wire now.
Half a second, 4 tenths.
Oh my goodness, can Kata hold on? He's got half a lap. Half a lap to hold on.
He's got 3 tenths in hand. He's 3 tenths safe to Kevin.
This is going to be so close, Danny. One mistake and this will be it for
and
the two of them.
BTX.
He's catching BTX. He's catching BTX and he's going to get dirty air in this final sector. And this is not what the Ferrari driver needs. The gap is staying at 3.4. Kevin's going to have to push like hell through this final sector. And he's gained a lot of time through that final corner. It's 2 tenths the margin. This is going to be so close. And he's going to get DRS.
It's going to be the final corner.
This is going to be
the final corner.
Right down to the wire. It's down to 1 tenth. And coming through the final corner now is Timo Kata. He comes across the line. He's also got DRS across the line. He wins provisionally. Can Kevin do it? He's missed out by 500ths. And Kata takes his first victory in STB. What a race from the Italian. And it's Kevin who stands second on the podium. Downboss takes home P3. BTX comes home in P4. And Cineflow in P5. Oh my goodness. And here's the first Italian driver to win an STB for, I believe, more than 6 seasons. What a race. A strategy masterclass from the Racing Point, and he held it right to the end.
28 laps on those hard tyres.
35 laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix, Danny, and they are separated by 500ths of a second. Incredible. We didn't finish off the running order as we are in shock over that ending. But it was Cineflow who comes home in P5, Crooken in a lonely P6, Bram Nielsen in P7 after he's been in the wars this race. P8 was Timo Ofale, P9 was Tumardi, and P10 was FRA Brown.
Driver of the day just popped up for the game. Who was your driver? I think it's going to be quite an easy one.
Yeah.
I'll ask anyway.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, driver of the day has to be TMR Kata. Absolute masterclass for him. Yeah. Not a lot else to say. Kevin, I think it's funny to say, but that's probably his worst race of the season. He finished 500ths off the lead. So, yeah.
I thought as soon as he got DRS, he was going to win it. I honestly thought he would.
Well, I think what saved Kata was the DRS on the Ghost car in the end.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, a good result for FNT Dan Boss as well. P3 maybe could have been more if he didn't get held up so much. I mean, obviously when Kevin and him were nose to tail, and yeah, getting through that traffic. Obviously, Kevin did a better job. So it would have been for FNT Dan Boss, but as we're joined by Kata now.
Yep, there is your finishing order, as we did mention. Yep, only the top 10 that finished in the end. Your retirees were DSP Never Lie, Matt Matibanta, FXBR Davi, CG Allen, SLR Owen, BCRL Shark, and TSR Dangerman. Wow, what an ending to that race. Yeah, we got a couple of interviews for tonight. We will head to FRA BTX first. So BTX, if you want to make sure your audio is included, we'll give you a couple of questions.
It is. Cheers, mate.
So we saw you switch onto those hards on the first safety car, and we were putting you as the favourite to win it, realistically, going to the end. What went wrong in the end? Was it just the couple of penalties and the couple of warnings you picked up? They were a bit too much?
Yeah.
Or
It was. Like, one penalty was just because I had to evade someone. That would have just kept me P3. But besides that, I think I drove a stunner of a race. I'm very pleased with what I've done. I started P14 or 13, finished P4. Yeah, of course. In these situations, I chose to go for the hard straight away because I know they lost a whole race. I finished on 78% or something, not entirely sure. This was the best I could do. Like, I picked up some penalties, and that's unfortunate, but further on, yeah, it is what it is, you know.
well, you missed out on driver of the day from us, just about, but that was an absolute stellar drive, going 34 laps on the set of hards. But we did see you in a couple of incidents. Your incident with TMR off Alley, which we didn't quite see what happened. Just talk us through that incident in particular. What happened?
You mean the one at turn 3?
Turn 2, yeah.
Turn 2, same thing. Yeah, just he spanned between turn 2 and 3. He just lost his rear.
So there was no contact between the two of you?
Oh, there was contact, yeah, but just some wheel banging. He was on my inside. At the outside line, there was some banging, but nothing serious in my opinion. Then I just saw him. I think he lost his rear. If not, I don't know what happened. Because he just made a slingshot into the wall. Besides that, I genuinely don't know what happened. I gotta review it.
Yeah, it looked the same on our end, but we didn't know if there was some big contact or just a bit of wheel banging. But well done on the race. Brilliant drive, as we said. Absolutely stellar drive. So congratulations.
Cheers.
Thank you for the interview.
Thank you, man. Cheers.
And next up, we have our race winner, TMR Kata. Take a bow, son. Brilliant race. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I've done a beautiful job for me. This track is amazing. I completely love it. And starting from qualifying, it was rain, but I've done a good result starting P4. Race, I have a good pace. I try to go with the undercut with the R compound tires at the 7 lap. and I've done it, so I'm pretty happy about what I've done today.
It was pretty close to the end there. Half
Yeah.
half attempt.
Were
yeah, it
you
was very
aware of
close.
how close the gap was to get that victory in the end, or were you just pushing all the way?
I saw the gap. I was pushing because I know that Kevin was arriving, and I had to push to continue to lead. And I've done it for, I don't know, less attempt I think. It was left attempt that I
Yeah, it
won,
was
so I
half a
think I'm
tenth
pretty
in the
happy.
end.
Yeah,
It went right
half
up
a
to the
tenth, yeah.
wire.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
again, you made the strategy work. Boxed under the second safety car.
Yeah.
Brilliant
Yeah,
race,
yeah,
as we
I've
said.
done it.
But what does this mean
Pretty happy,
going
yeah.
forward? How are you feeling for the rest of the season with the last few European races coming up?
I think that now I can realize that I can win some races, and next races are very good for me. I'm quite fast in track like Monza, Singapore, other tracks, and would be interesting to see what I can do.
Well, you were voted Driver of the Day by me and Danny. Congratulations
Thank you very
on your
much.
first victory of the season.
Thank you
I'm
very
sure
much.
many more to come. So, well done.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Well, Danny, that wraps up the race tonight, and yeah, that was an exhilarating end to a pretty good Grand Prix.
Yeah, I mean, overall the Grand Prix had action all the way throughout. I mean, them last few laps with Kevin incoming. I mean, it was we just had eyes peeled on that gap every single lap, and coming
I
into
was
the final.
looking. Yeah, I was looking at the gap all the time.
Yeah, we were absolutely fixated on it at the end there, but yeah, absolutely fantastic race from everyone that raced tonight. Well done to all the finishers, and thank you everybody for watching the stream and watching back afterwards as well. It was a great one to watch, that one. But next week we will head to Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. So join STB Maudi and Rigsy on Monday night, usual time. We'll have the Tier 1 race, and the Tier 2 race will follow on the Tuesday at 8 o'clock as well. So make sure you tune in for both of those. They're going to be absolute crackers. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.